what do you think about Canelo Alvarez? Mexican press Iñaki is asking that you express very positive remarks about Canelo. What do you think about him? What would you like to say about Canelo?
Well, I've watched this young man many years ago when Oscar told me about him, and I just saw him develop. I saw him grow, and I saw him change. I saw him develop. Then I saw the experience, and that he was a good student. Naturally, when I saw him against Mayweather, I saw a student. I saw a student against a professor in Floyd Mayweather. Floyd took him to school, but he learned from that.
So he got maturity. He was able to overcome defeat, because when he fought Mayweather, Canelo thought he was the king of the world, and he went to school with Floyd.
Yes.
And then he had the maturity to overcome that and learn and become a mature fighter.
Mauricio, that was the most important thing that took place with Alvarez, because losing, no one wants to lose, but when you lose to one of the best and you learn from that, you will become a better fighter, a better champion.
I would like to show you a few pictures from some events that were very special. We're going to start with one where Farrah Fawcett and Ryan O'Neal went to a homage that the WBC, My Father Prepared for You, in Washington. Do you remember that night?
Let me see it. I do remember, but let me see it.
Víctor, la de Farrah Fawcett, por favor.
Oh my God.
Farrah Fawcett with Ryan O'Neal. That was in the 80s sometime.
No, early 80s.
Early 80s, right.
Oh my gosh.
And then we have one at the Beverly Wilshire. Poner el de Beverly Wilshire, por favor.
That was, those were memories, man. Those are so incredible.
1983 or 84, there was a big homage for Muhammad Ali at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel.
Right.
And there's a great picture that we're gonna put in one moment, that you are with, let's see, okay, right there.
Gosh. Oh, I gotta have this picture. Sugar Ray Robinson, look at that. Oh my God, Marvin.
Ken Norton, Muhammad Ali, Bo Derek.
Bo Derek, yeah. Where's my hand, my left hand?
Thank God it's on top on the shoulder. You can see right there.
It was right. It was a wonderful, incredible, just special moment. Evening.
You know, that night, $200,000 were raised.
Wow.
For the UCLA research, for brain research, that the WBC and UCLA made a partnership to find many different studies that were funded. And that money and that research led to the WBC to reduce from 15 to 12 rounds, to change the day of the weigh-in from the day of the fight to a day before, and countless different measures. You fought at 15 rounds. Is there something that you can tell about fighting 15 rounds to those who now fight 12 rounds?
The difference between going 12 rounds and going 15 rounds is boys to men. It's that additional 3 rounds. In fact, I almost relied upon those late rounds because I came on strong. But I'm all for what's best, what's healthiest, for the fighter, for the fighters. I don't care if it's 20 rounds, whatever's best for the fighters.
Yeah, those 13, 14, 15, you know, the UCLA came out with a formula where you put dehydration plus fatigue plus a solid blow equals a mortal injury. And that's the reasoning behind reducing fatigue and dehydration, because the less you fight, the less those things occur. We have another picture. It was a award ceremony when you were with Mike Tyson and Sugar Ray, Junko Chang. Víctor, ¿tiene la foto esta de Nueva York?
Estamos buscándola.
Okay. Y después, before we put this picture, tell us about your relationship with Nelson Mandela.
Oh my God. This was, this was back in the 80s. I went to South Africa to do a motivational speech, and on this huge yacht ship. And when I got back to my hotel, I got a call that Nelson Mandela wanted me. He was there at the speech on the boat, and he wanted me to have dinner, come to his house for dinner that evening. And I got to his house. I was, again, shaking. I was so nervous. And he opened the door and he hugged me. He said, my champion. He said, one thing I don't tolerate is people being late. I just started sweating. Mauricio, I started sweating so bad. And he said, my photographer should have been here a long time ago. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not fair. And I just found out then that he was an amateur boxer.
Yes.
He was a boxer. And we took pictures, and oh my gosh, he was my champ.
You had dinner at Nelson Mandela's home.
Yes. I kept saying, how can I put this in perspective? I mean, how can I see the unreal? And it was so amazing. So amazing. One of my best moments.
He must have been an unbelievable sharing his experience. He just had that energy, huh?
Yes, he was a fighter inside out, and he fought for people's rights. He didn't care. He sacrificed himself for the right thing to do with his people.
Yes, unbelievable. And let me show you. I had here something. I found it when I started looking at my things. Oh, let's see this picture. This one, the one I was telling you, it was the awards ceremony, I believe, 88, 89. So Junko Chang from Korea, Chavez, my father, Mike, yourself, and Donnie Lalonde. You know, Chavez, I talked to him. We had a WBC talks with Chavez today. Oh, he thought you were going to be together with him. He was so excited. He expressed like no one about you. He really loves, and he asked us to make sure that you know that Julio loves you. Let me show you one of the greatest memories I have in life. This picture you gave to me when you came to my house.
I was going to say to your house, yes, I remember that. I remember that. What year was that? When was that?
I guess it was either 1979 or 1980.
80 sounds better.
I think you came after the first Duran fight. You came to Mexico, and
Yes.
you went to my house.
Yes.
And just to have here to Mauricio, my amigo. This is one of my greatest
Oh my God, and I meant that.
And you know, I remember you were wearing a t-shirt. So you're walking next to my father. I'm looking at you like a god. So I go and I touch your arm, and you just go like this. I could my told my friends the next day I was like in heaven. Um, so how about Muhammad Ali? What would you like to share about Muhammad Ali? Because there's so many moments. We're gonna put a few pictures of your relationship with Ali, and there's so much love in the images, so much respect, so much. I would like you to hear from you about Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali was more than my idol. He was my friend, and I remember one time he met my wife, and he said, "Let's have dinner." And we went to dinner, and he was doing magic tricks back then. He was such an inspiration to me. I remember vividly when prior to fighting Tommy Hearns, uh, I was in the ring, and I said, "Who?" I looked around the audience and said, "Who in here could beat Tommy Hearns?" And I picked out Muhammad Ali. So if you go back to that fight, the first round, watch the way I was boxing. I was boxing like Muhammad Ali, using the ring, using my speed, and I got under Tommy's skin for a second. But Muhammad gave me so much advice. He always said, Ray, sign your own checks. Always train hard. Don't take anyone for granted. He just gave me incredible advice. He was like my big brother. He was so special to me. And Sugar Ray Robinson here, oh my gosh, and Ali.
Yeah, these are. You must have such amazing memories on
These are moments I will cherish and maintain for forever.
a referee between Robinson and Ali, the greatest of them all.
That was amazing. Both of these, my champions, my idols.
And I wanted to take just a moment to simply thank you, because you gave my father a, how can I explain it, an inspiration. You were my father's inspiration, and through your performance, you solidified his decisions. I don't know if I'm making sense of what I'm saying, especially on the fight with Marvin Hagler. When you were retired for a long time, you had the detached retina, and then your heart, your mind sets, I'm going to fight, I'm going to beat Hagler. When that fight took place, my father got on the real bad press. He was labeled like a murderer, like something that should not be happening. And you performed, and you beat Hagler in a masterful performance, and then the great feeling of success and assurance that it was the right situation. My father stayed at the Caesars Palace Arena, at the open, in the parking lot arena. He was the last person to leave that night. He used to tell us at home, he just stayed there, sat down. He was such at peace and satisfaction because of your performance. I just wanted to tell you that my father loved you very much. You were always an inspiration, and he used to talk about Sugar Ray Leonard. His face would just lit up, and a relationship that you both enjoyed was for a lifetime. You visited my father at the UCLA in his last days, and that just closes a cycle of greatness, because you, Sugar Ray Leonard, is the symbol of the WBC, green and gold. You are what represent the best of the WBC, and I just wanted you to know how much you mean for the WBC, for the Sulaiman family, and for the legacy of Jose Sulaiman.
You know, Mauricio, you took the words right out of my mouth. I love your father. I respected your father. And the WBC were the only sanctioning bodies that was willing to give me that shot. I understood that there was major concerns about my eyes and the fact that I was inactive for 5 years to fight Marvelous Marvin Hagler. But the fact of the matter was, I felt that I deserved that shot. In fact, my ophthalmologist, my eye doctor, he said, Ray, you can continue to fight because they had advanced in medical technology. So I wasn't afraid, which was key. But let me say this to you, Mauricio. I love your father and the times we spent together, the time when I was invited to your home and I met that youngster. God bless him. And I can't say enough about your dad, man, and the love I have for you and your family and WBC.
Thank you so very much. You are a successful human being, always a winner. And now your dedication, your efforts to help others through your foundation. Please tell us a little bit about the No Mas Diabetes, about your beautiful efforts to help in a specific field.
Well, my wife and I started the foundation over 10 years ago, and it was for diabetes. My father was a diabetic. My friends, either they or their kids were diabetics. And the thing with boxing, I've had fights in the ring. This is a big fight, and this is a fight we can win. So we call it No Mas Diabetes. I enjoy this so much. It's giving back. It's reciprocating. Because I'm a blessed man to have been in the ring, to have been champion for close to 50 years. And now I want to give back, and I want to use my celebrity. I want to use my friends and my connections, and one day we can say, no mas diabetes.
No Mas Diabetes, yes.
No mas.
How can we help? How can the society help your foundation?
You can respond to Sugar Ray Leonard Foundation.org. And I will get this to you. I will actually get this to you in 1 second here. That was cool. Sugar Ray Leonard Foundation.org. I did say the right thing.
Okay, because you do a yearly event, a fundraiser,
Yes.
which is very fun. A lot of people come out, you raise funds, but you continuously try to lend your hand to others, which is so honorable. And we want to make this known and also to be part of it. This is sensational. And Roberto Duran, since we go from No Mas Diabetes, Roberto Duran. What a relationship. What a history. You were just saying that you could still feel and smell the breath from Duran.
Yeah, that close. Because Roberto Duran, I mean, he was one amazing champions. And now we've been through all the fights and stuff, but now we're friends. And he's an incredible guy, fighter, warrior. I mean, all those adjectives relate to him. And he taught me, or he made me into a much better fighter. And I tell you what, I owe so much to him. And I'm glad that we were in the same era, generation, time, that we could compete against each other. Because if you say I'm the best, prove you're the best by fighting the best. And I fought Roberto, and he's one of the best.
The greatness that I see you lose your first fight, your undefeated status, your title, and then you turn around and perform such an amazing turnaround, because it's very difficult. Once you get defeated, especially there was so much in the mind, and then you give it exactly back, doing so many a great performance on the second fight. How do you achieve that mental strength to come back and beat him?
That's a very good question. It's willingness. It's a desire. Um, you know, when Duran beat me in the first fight back in '80, June of '80, I seriously contemplated retirement. I said, I mean, I took so much punishment that I said, I don't need this. So I was going to retire. I thought about that. I really thought about that. And I remember vividly taking my wife to vacation on a vacation. And I'm running on the beach, and some of my fans say, "Hey, sugar, you could have won that fight if you'd box your style. You did your thing, did it the right way." And the next day, I called my partner, my business partner, my trainer, and said, "Mike, I want to fight Duran ASAP." He said, "Ray, are you on vacation, right?" I said, "Yeah, but I'm coming home tomorrow." He said, "Son, just wait." So I got home. I said, "I want to fight him ASAP," and that's what happened. That's how it all started. I want to get my WBC belt back.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Kevin Noon is hooked from Thailand, and he would like to know, what advice would you give to a current champion, a young boxer, those who are Sugar Ray Leonard's from the 70s? What would you tell him? What to look out? What would you say to them face to face?
Don't ever take anyone for granted. That was Usher, by the way. Don't ever take anyone, no matter who he is or who she is. Don't ever take your opposition for granted. And that happens to all, it happens to some of us as we, win the titles and this and that. And then we don't stay, I call it television. It's focused on the target at hand. But don't take anything for granted.
That picture with Usher. Usher is your friend, huh?
Usher's my friend.
So
Yeah.
he played you in the movie with Duran.
Yes.
Were you at the filming? Or would you?
I was working with him at the gym, and Usher can jump rope a little better than me, and he did an incredible job. In fact, you look here, look at the photos here. Yeah. He even has the bolo punch.
Bolo punch, yes.
The bolo punch, yeah.
And another question or comment. It's Stephen Pryor, son of Aaron Pryor. How about the fight with Aaron Pryor?
Aaron Pryor. Aaron Pryor, I mean, I miss him so much. I truly miss him so much. And he was one of those special fighters that whatever fight he had against whoever it was going to be entertaining. It's going to be surprising. He had one of the toughest chins, and I just miss him. I really miss him. And that's why here, because of the quarantine, being locked down because of the coronavirus, I watch those fights, the old fights.
Yeah. His son is in communications constantly with us. And he actually gave us a great idea to present the recognition to the trainers. So we created the trainer belt. Whoever crowns a WBC champion receives a belt, which is like a towel. And that came from Stefan, because the trainer spends so much time with the fighter, and it's part of the success to become a champion. And that came. So it's good to be in communications with even with the kids. When you are in the WBC, you are before, during, and after the glory days, but you're always part of this family.
That is wonderful. Unbelievable. I love you guys, man.
Oh, here's a picture of the towel belt for the training.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
Did you ever think of training, of becoming a manager or trainer?
Mauricio, I don't have the mentality to train because, first of all, if you don't give me 100%, I go crazy. But it takes a special mentality to be a trainer, to be a great trainer, to be a good trainer. And you either have it or you don't. You may know boxing, you may know this and that, but if you don't have the right temperament, the right communications, and the patience, it won't happen.
That. I mean, you can be a good salesman, but then maybe you're not a good manager of salesmen.
Exactly.
CEO.
Exactly.
Well, champ, it's incredible. The hour has gone by. And I just want to thank you so very much for your time. I want to wish you a happy weekend. And I just wanted to ask you to please continue to motivate us. Please continue to be such a strong leader, because just watching your Instagram, watching your attitude for life, I was laughing so much when on the push-up challenge with your son. I mean, this is life. You represent the best of life, and you're my hero. Please continue to do so, and God bless you, my dear champ.
Well, thank you, Mauricio. And you can, please always know you can always reach out to me and count on me.
Thank
God
you
bless
so
you,
much.
my family.
Have a great weekend. Love you so much. Take care.
You too, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Frey. Thank you very much, Mauricio. This was round number 23 of the WBC Talks, the best special round with Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar, thank you very much.
Thanks, Vic.
Mauricio, thank you very much, and thank you for watching.
God bless
See you
you.
next week.